There are cars people admire, and then there are cars people obsess over. The 1967 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray falls firmly into obsession territory. This was not just another model year, it was the accidental masterpiece that almost never happened, packed with one-year-only features that make it instantly recognizable to anyone who knows what they are looking at. These are 8 facts about the 1967 Stingray that most enthusiasts have never heard. Number 8. The 1967 Corvette was never supposed to exist. General Motors had planned to launch an entirely new Corvette for 1967. The radical Mako Shark design was ready. Production tooling was in place, marketing materials were prepared. Then Zora Arkus Duntov, the legendary engineer known as the father of the Corvette, demanded more time. Wind tunnel testing had revealed serious aerodynamic problems with the new design. At high speeds, the prototype was generating dangerous amounts of lift. Duntov refused to sign off on a car that could become airborne on the highway. So General Motors made a decision that would create automotive history. They gave the existing C2 design one more year of refinement. That extra year of engineering polish transformed the 1967 Stingray into what collectors universally agree is the finest second-generation Corvette ever built. The car that was supposed to be obsolete became the pinnacle of its generation. Number 7. Chevrolet deliberately lied about their most powerful engine. Late in the 1967 model year, Chevrolet introduced an engine option that would become the most valuable power plant ever installed in a Corvette. The L88 427 cubic inch V8 was officially rated at 430 horsepower. That number was a complete fabrication. Real output was somewhere between 540 and 580 horsepower. Chevrolet engineers knew exactly what they had built. They just did not want average buyers getting their hands on it. The L88 featured aluminum cylinder heads, a 12.5:1 compression ratio, and a racing camshaft so aggressive that the engine would barely idle. This was not a street engine dressed up for showrooms. This was a racing engine with license plates. To ensure only serious competitors bought the L88, Chevrolet priced it at $1,500 above base. In 1967 money, that is over $11,000 today, just for the engine option. The strategy worked. Only 20 L88 cars were sold. Yeah, I'll see you old in 1967. Those 20 cars are now among the most valuable American automobiles ever produced. Number 6. The L88 came without heat or music on purpose. When you ordered a 1967 Corvette with the L88 engine, Chevrolet deleted your heater and your radio. Those were not options you could add back. They were mandatory deletions. The official explanation was weight reduction. Every pound saved meant better acceleration at the track, but the real reason was discouragement. Chevrolet did not want commuters and casual drivers buying what was essentially a race car for the street. A Corvette without heat was undrivable in winter. A Corvette without a radio made long trips miserable. The paperwork that came with every L88 included a stern warning about fuel requirements. The engine demanded 103 octane racing fuel. Put regular gas in the tank and you risked serious engine damage. Chevrolet even deleted the fan shroud that aids cooling. The L88 was engineered to run at racing speeds where ram air would cool the engine. In stop-and-go traffic, it would overheat. Everything about the L88 screamed one message: this car belongs on a racetrack. Number 5. Federal safety law killed the famous spinner wheels. For years, Corvette enthusiasts had lusted after the optional knockoff wheels. These racing-derived wheels featured elegant three-pronged spinners that you tightened with a lead hammer, just like the cars at Le Mans. In 1967, new federal safety legislation made them illegal. Regulators worried that the protruding spinners could catch on pedestrians during accidents or snag on objects during impacts. The solution was a complete redesign. The 67 Corvette introduced bolt-on cast aluminum wheels with clip-on center caps that concealed conventional lug nuts. They looked similar to the old knockoffs from a distance, but up close the difference was obvious. Standard equipment for 67 became the new rally wheel, a ventilated steel wheel with chrome beauty rings that would remain Corvette's base wheel for a decade. These simple, elegant wheels are now considered part of the 67's clean aesthetic. The spinner wheels were gone forever. Any 67 you see with knockoff-style wheels has been modified from original specification. If you're learning something new, hit subscribe. I break down automotive history like this every week. Number 4. The backup light location is unique to 1967 only. Here is how to identify a 1967 Corvette from the rear in about 2 seconds. Look for the backup light. On every other C2 Corvette, backup lights were integrated into the taillights when equipped. On the 1967 Corvette, a single wide backup light sits centered above the license plate. This design change allowed Chevrolet to install dual taillights on each side, creating a cleaner, more symmetrical rear appearance. It is a subtle detail that dramatically improves the car's proportions. When the C3 generation arrived in 1968, backup lights moved again. That means the center-mounted backup light above the license plate is a one-year-only feature found on no other Corvette before or since. Collectors call this the easiest way to spot a 1967 at a car show from 50 feet away. Number 3. The fender vents reveal the model year instantly. Every C2 Corvette has vents behind the front wheels, but counting those vents tells you exactly which year you are looking at. 1965 and 1966 Corvettes have 3 large vertical vents. Distinctive, purposeful, impossible to miss. 1967 Corvettes have 5 smaller vents. The change was both aesthetic and functional, improving airflow while giving the car a more refined, less aggressive appearance. This single detail is the fastest way any enthusiast identifies the model year. 3 vents means 1965 or 1966. 5 vents means 1967. No other year of C2 used the 5-vent design. Combined with the other one-year-only features, the 1967 has more unique visual identifiers than any other second-generation Corvette. Designers knew this was the final year for the body style, and they gave it distinctive finishing touches. Number 2. The Stinger hood was reserved exclusively for big blocks. If you see a 1967 Corvette with a massive hood scoop featuring a raised center bulge, you are looking at a 427 big block car. Period. Chevrolet called it the Stinger hood, and they painted the center section in contrasting colors at the factory. A white Corvette might have a black Stinger, a red car might have a silver stripe down the center. No small block 327 equipped Corvette ever received this hood from the factory. It was the visual badge of honor that told the world your Stingray had the big motor. What makes this interesting is that the scoop was delivered from the factory as non-functional. It looked like a cold air intake, but air actually could not reach the engine. However, Chevrolet designed it so that removing a few screws would open the scoop to outside air. The message was clear. Chevrolet built the infrastructure for racing performance, but left the final activation to the owner. Plausible deniability for the factory, easy modification for the racer. Number 1. A 1967 L88 sold for nearly $4 million. In January 2014, a red-on-red 1967 L88 coupe crossed the Barrett-Jackson auction block in Scottsdale. When the hammer fell, it set a world record for any Corvette ever sold at public auction, $3.85 million, including buyer's premium. This was not just any L88, it was the only red exterior with red interior example known to exist among the 20 produced. It had earned the National Corvette Restorers Society Duntov Mark of Excellence Award, the highest honor in Corvette restoration. To understand why collectors pay supercar money for a 1967 Corvette, consider the math. 20 L88 cars were built, some were raced and destroyed, some were modified beyond recognition, some simply disappeared. Today, experts believe only 16 of the original 20 still exist in documented condition. When one appears at auction, bidders understand they are competing for something irreplaceable. The 1967 L88 has been called the American equivalent of the Ferrari 250 GTO, a racing engine in a beautiful body produced in microscopic numbers, with provenance that commands respect worldwide. The 1967 Corvette Stingray was supposed to be a placeholder, a temporary measure while engineers fixed problems with the next generation. Instead, that extra year of refinement produced the cleanest, most sophisticated, and most collectible C2 ever built. General Motors thought they were killing time. They accidentally created a legend. Subscribe for more stories like this one.